Hey folks, it's Billy DKY, the truth seeker that simplifies and demystifies. This is going to be my video on your thoughts and senses. It's from my Path blog, The Essence of Truth, and basically I'm going through and reviewing one section a day or something like that. And I figured I might as well talk about it since I'm reviewing it, and it's pretty good stuff. But really the main focus is going into my falling away growth. But nonetheless, let's get started. Oh yeah, and by the way, in the information section, you can click that, and there'll be a whole the full text of what I'm reading to be there, so you can read along with it or whatnot. Since it is my information, it's not copyrighted. Your thoughts take you out of reality. Your senses keep you in reality. So many times we get caught up in a thought, and then one thought leads to three thoughts leads to 9 thoughts, and then all of a sudden your mind's just filled with thoughts, and you've totally lost connection with reality. The only reality you know is in your mind. You know what I'm saying? And it's going crazy. So your senses keep you in reality. So as long as you're keeping your awareness in one of your 5 senses, and like say maybe 6 if you include your consciousness, aware of your unconscious, that'll keep you out of thoughts. So let's say, and I've got another video out there I think dealing with thoughts. Go outside, get connected. When your mind's spinning, get in one of your senses. Go outside and hear the birds, touch the grass and all that stuff. Anyway, your senses perceive reality, then your ego overlays your perception with meaning. Thoughts start, being present is lost, and peace is degraded. So that's part of like the Zen thing, and in a way, you're already really sort of aware of everything, the way it really is. But then your ego comes over, and it has an experience. It sees the energy flows and how things flow and how to get in harmony. Then your ego overlays that perception with some kind of meaningful something, and then your thoughts start. Then being present is lost because you're no longer connected with the reality, connected with your thoughts, and then your peace is degraded. So the meaning you place on things causes a lot of problems. If you really truly understood everything was pure energy, which that's what it really is, then that would keep you out of a lot of problems and conflict with people because you wouldn't take it so personal. So anyway, next thought. The only truthful thought is everything is energy. The only other thoughts worth thinking are the thoughts that free your mind from thinking or thoughts that lead you to fulfilling a need. So, thinking that does not lead to growth should be avoided. Again, everything is energy. That's the only truthful thought. I can say my name is Billy DKY. That's really, it's a relative truth, but in the essence, it isn't true at all. The only thing that's true is everything's energy. So that's that. And then the other thought was, this is pretty good. The only other thoughts worth thinking are the thoughts that free you from thinking, or thoughts that lead you to fulfilling a need. So if you can have a thought that leads all of a sudden to a release in your spirit that keeps another barrage of thoughts from going off in this direction, that's a good thing. Or if you have a thought that leads you to fulfilling a need, not a want, a need, then that's a good thing. Again, you should avoid any thought that doesn't lead to growth. This is by Lao Tsu, the next one. There is no honesty. Empty your mind of everything. And that sort of goes along with what I said above. There's no honesty because people aren't admitting that everything's energy. They're caught up in everything but that truth. I think it's hilarious, really. And again, empty your mind of everything. That's basically what I'm saying. In those thoughts that aren't leading to something, to fulfilling a need. So anyway, next point. Your senses are for survival, not indulgence. Everybody wants to be an indulgent in pleasure in every one of their senses. They want pleasure. I want to see beautiful things. Oh, I want to smell beautiful. Oh, you stink. They don't want to smell anything that's not pleasant. They want to taste pleasant foods. They want to hear pleasant sounds. They want to feel my skin. I want it to feel so pleasant and light and fluffy. And what happens to people like that? They wind up being completely miserable. I know because I went down that road, and that's why I'm on the spiritual journey. And that's why people like the Buddha. Buddha was saturated with pleasure. He knew how miserable it was. That's why he's willing to give up everything. He damn near died trying to find freedom. That's the way it goes. You can ignore what I'm saying. That's fine. But you do it at your own detriment. It ain't hurt. It might hurt me some, but not really. Protect yourself from being exposed to things that could cause you to fail. There's certain things that cause you to fail. Try to set yourself up for success instead of failure. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you're weak for women. Let's say you're married, you're weak for women. If some woman's doing a coy thing, hi, how you doing? You know, doing whatever coy behavior, and you know you're weak. Don't take her business card, and she gives you, give me a call sometime. You know, don't stop at the first failure, man. Don't expose yourself. If you're weak and you know you're a cheater at heart, then don't expose yourself. Don't go to a bar. Don't go to a strip club or whatever. Avoid it. Anyway, Lao Tsu said the same thing. Guard your senses. Next point, the sounds of nature reconnect you to the essence. Music separates you with emotional tunes. I know some of you musicians ain't gonna like to hear that. And don't get me wrong, music can say a lot of great things and can open your mind up in some ways. However, music a lot of times does separate you from the essence of life through emotions. So what I found is when I go out in the woods, just going outside every day, you know, just as I live plainer and simpler, my mind gets more intuitive and the spirit's more awake. The birds sound so beautiful. The air's, you know, just everything is just the bugs, and it's just such a rich. You just can feel you're being connected again with the essence of life. And anytime I'm listening to music, I always feel like I'm being drawn away from the essence of life. Which the reason I feel that because I am. Don't get me wrong, I still listen to music occasionally, but I keep it to a minimum. Like I always say, less is more, but not none. And I'm not saying if you have a gift for playing music, you shouldn't play it. I'm just saying less is more, but not none. Okay, let's see. There's something else. Oh, yeah, I did have an experience I want to tell. When I was a kid, I couldn't even feel any emotions from listening to music. I remember once walking by my dad and brother. Had this big, back in the day, the radios were huge. I mean, like a piece of furniture. And my dad was listening to it. Oh, yeah. My brother was there, too. They was all just listening, enjoying it. And I was like, I walked by and I was like, what are they experiencing? I don't feel nothing. I don't feel anything. I didn't know I was at a higher state than they were, but I thought I was missing out on something. But I realize now I wasn't. I want to get back to that state again of a full mind. And I can even remember when my mind started being cut by music. It was Billy Joe. I can't remember the song. I mean, I know if I heard it, but I can remember start feeling emotions cut through my mind. I was like, yeah, I'm starting to feel music. I thought it was a good thing. But I realize now it wasn't a good thing. It was emotions cutting through my mind, and like Lao Tsu said, go back to the uncarved block. My uncarved block was being carved out. So I know some of you may not like that, but it is the truth. Because I told one of my buddies this, and he's a half Chinese guy, and where I worked at, and he didn't like that at all because he loved music. He didn't want to hear that at all. And again, if you listen to me, you watch my videos, I'm going to piss you off because I'm going to say something that you don't like because you're attached to something and you're not going to like what I've got to say. Again, the truth isn't popular. And so I expect people not to like me at times. I'm going to piss you off. You think I wouldn't been pissed off by everything I've learned this journey? Again, I'm here to tell the truth. Thoughts and emotions are highly linked. Without outside stimuli, emotions only arise from thoughts. Thoughts and emotions are highly, you know, and a lot of times, you know, these doctors, I mean, I've never been because I just knew that the pharmaceuticals really wouldn't solve my problem the way I wanted it to be solved. And I've actually helped a couple people get off of it, and I wasn't even trying to. They just like, you know what, I'm around you, I feel like I have the confidence to start getting off. Like, well, if you're going to do it slow, you know, follow those 9 principles. Which I didn't know the 9 principles at the time, but I did tell him to get off slowly. And he got off, and he's a little bit more emotional, but he felt confident he could, you know, conquer it in time. Okay, so thoughts and emotions are highly, it's just a cycle. And the emotions is not so much where you stop it as the thoughts. You stop the thoughts and emotions will settle down on their own a lot of times. So, and the last part, without outside stimuli, emotions only arise from thoughts. You know, thoughts do arise from outside stimuli, things banging into you, and you got to think through it. But other than that, typically thoughts arise from emotions a lot of times. So, I mean, that last statement may not be 100% technically correct, but it's not bad. Anyway, until the next video, later, folks.